Hey, what's up, my dudes? We are back once again taking a look at another in the Wings Hauser oeuvre. However, this time he's not in the directing chair. Today we're taking a look at the sequel to one of my favorite fantasy films, 1991's Beastmaster 2 Through the Portal of Time, starring Wings Hauser, Uncle Phil, and a tiger not covered in black shoe polish. The movie opens as all great fantasy sci-fi epics do, with a text crawl. We learn that the events of Beastmaster 1 don't really matter because apparently after Rip Torn bit the dust, an even bigger threat, Lord Arklon, showed up and enslaved the world with his dark magic. Arklon must have been very good at this whole evil overlord thing because when the movie opens, he's already got the Beastmaster Dar held captive. Apparently under Arklon's rule, the penalty for Beastmastering is quite severe.
The accused has also exhibited knowledge of witchcraft and his ability to control the beasts of the field. The sentence is death.
Wings does what he does best and chews some scenery.
Now, where are these rebels? Speak. Then die.
Before he can be beheaded, Dar's Tiger Roo shows up out of nowhere and starts mauling guys. Kodo and Podo free Dar and he starts fantasy heroing around the room. You know, when you're trying to execute the Beastmaster, maybe you should make sure there aren't any animals in your cave first. Arklon tries to stop Dar, but Shirak rips his damn eye out and Dar makes his escape. We then join the band of rebels in the desert who are transporting the witch Lyanna, who they want to reveal the location of Arklon. Unfortunately, Arklon is closer than they thought, and he basically does their whole village. After some weird introductions...
Lord Arklon, maximum ruler of Arok, be any concern of yours.
Chill out, Lord Dude.
Lyanna reveals she meant to meet Arklon so that she can give him the ultimate power.
The ultimate power awaits you, my lord.
But you hear me well. If you try to deceive me...
I know. You shall cleave my black heart from my bosom.
Meanwhile, Dar is off wandering through a swamp and he fights a swamp hag. Only to learn it's his aunt, apparently. Weird.
You are of my blood. I was sister to your father said.
She informs Dar that he has an evil brother who he must kill before the autumn equinox for reasons. Well, who in the world could Dar's evil brother be? Arklon. It's Arklon. Of course it's Arklon.
Brother?
You are the one.
Lyanna shows Arklon the titular Portal of Time and shows him the distant world of L.A.
And what do they call this place?
The natives call it L.A.
L.A.
I have been studying their ways for some time now.
She shows Arklon a neutron detonator, which would give him the power to conquer the world, but I thought Arklon already conquered this place. Well, whatever. Arklon is mustache-twirling evil anyway, so he just wants it. We then get a sweet rock interlude where we meet Jackie, who's speeding through L.A. The cops give chase, and they somehow drive full speed down an alley and into Beastmaster's world. They believe they're on a movie set when Robert Zadar shows up and all the guys attack them.
Hey, you're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. You shall remain silent.
The cops get thrown back through the portal and decide it's not worth the paperwork to write this whole thing up.
If we were dreaming, we wouldn't have to explain to the captain what happened to our patrol cars.
Jackie drives off, but Arklon is too busy mixing up his newfound technology with his mortal enemy for some reason.
What an incredible instrument of destruction this beast would make. I could roll over entire armies.
It's called a car.
A Dar.
A car.
A car.
Jackie seems really cool with this whole being in another dimension thing. I know people do things differently in LA, but I don't know how you can go from being in downtown LA to a desert landscape and just decide to sleep it off. Root wakes up Jackie and she doesn't even freak out, even though there's a tiger right in front of her. Dar introduces himself and his friends to Jackie, who is less than respectful.
Whoa! Your bag's full of rats.
No, these are my ferrets. This is Kodo and Podo.
They still look like rats to me.
Arklon's minions show up and incapacitate Dar with smoke bombs and kidnap Jackie. Don't know why they didn't just kill Dar while they were at it. They bring Jackie to Arklon, and of course her father is some military guy with access to a neutron detonator.
Look, Daddy's really good friends with Admiral Binns. He's the chief of Pacific Operations, and, well, I'm sure he probably has a whole warehouse full of neutron detonators. Somewhere.
Dar shows up to save Jackie, but they jump through the portal and leave Robert Zadar behind to kill Dar. Sadly, the extra Z in his name isn't enough to beat the Beastmaster. Arklon traps Dar in the alley and then walks straight into the 90s.
Whoa, check out the radical rags, man.
Why are they looking at me like this?
They're digging your royal attire, sire. Of course. You gotta get yourself some fresh threads.
The police arrive in the alley to pick up Dar. Now, either Uncle Phil is the tallest man in the world, or this other cop is actually a ventriloquist dummy. Turns out the cops of the 90s weren't as trigger-happy as they are today.
He has a tranquilizer dart.
I take it he didn't bring one for Mr. Loincloth?
No, that's why God invented taser guns.
Come on, you know how I feel about tasers.
Dar attacks and they're forced to tase him anyway. Jackie takes Arklon and Liana to buy some less conspicuous outfits, and we meet our classic 90s gay stereotype for the film.
I should say...
Arklon, we must go now.
Today, darling.
Look, just in from Paris. It's the rage.
I think we've got a couple of minutes, so...
Ladies be shopping, am I right? For some reason, Arklon decides he'll just leave Jackie sitting unattended outside while he tries on a new suit. It goes about as well as you'd imagine.
What? Is this your... What'd she do that for?
Arklon is pissed he lost Jackie, so he uses his magic wand to destroy the store with hijinks.
He who defies Arklon shall be destroyed by Arklon!
Dar is back at the police station, but he's not talking until he sees a picture of Arklon, which sets him off. He escapes the police station and bumps into Jackie.
Come on, get in!
We then get another rock montage where Dar doesn't understand technology of the 90s. Hilarious.
Rock and roll, baby.
Rock and roll. Does remind me of an earthquake.
I don't care what you say, this shot of Kodo and Podo is fucking adorable.
Yes, my friends. Quite barbaric.
Oh no, the movie is looping around on itself. Apparently, off-screen, Arklon went to a bar and met a military official. After tailing him into an alley, he suddenly has the power to hypnotize people, read their minds, and steal their clothes.
I am entering your mind. I shall feed on your memories and know all that you know.
Dar and Jackie arrive at her house, and their butler harumphs at the Beastmaster.
Does it speak? Is he housebroken?
Thrill is the Beastmaster!
Come on, Dar, let's watch the 6 o'clock news.
Watches the news? Luckily for them, there just happens to be a news story about the neutron detonator, and Dar sees through Arklon's clever disguise. Unfortunately, nobody at the U.S. Army Strategic Research and Development Center sees through it. Oh yeah, I can totally see how these two blend in and nobody would think to stop them. Well, the guards outside the neutron detonator do ask for ID, so at least you can't walk all the way up to the most dangerous weapon in the military without anyone questioning you.
That won't be necessary, ma'am. I'll call security right now. I'm sure we can clear this matter up immediately.
Arklon uses his dark magic powers to punch everyone in the room and then run away like a buffoon with the detonator. Now that he has what he wants, Arklon has no need for Lyanna, so he double-crosses her.
All that you know shall be mine. So, my lovely, you intended to kill me so you could rule my kingdom by yourself?
The military gives chase, but Arklon is just too fast for them. Dar and Jackie show up just as Arklon is driving away, so they give chase too and pick up Lyanna on the way.
Now get out!
You need me to help you find him.
I thought you were on Arklon's side.
And I'm on my side, kid.
Dar confronts Arklon at the Portal of Time and asks him to leave the detonator. Arklon then goes full Wings Hauser mode and monologues at Dar a bit.
Oh, my dearest brother. Brother! The things I could have taught you. Things. Unfortunately, I don't have the time. I have to get back to our world with this device and without you.
The police arrive, but Arklon makes his escape again. When running from the Beastmaster, it's probably best not to try and hide in the goddamn zoo. Dar confronts Arklon, but he uses his magic wand to open a giant fissure in the ground. Kodo and Podo are able to get the detonator from him. Rue takes away his magic wand. Arklon decides he'll just kick Dar's ass anyway. Thankfully, the zoo setting gives this fight the honor and dignity it deserves.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, presenting the two great beasts of the jungle, the noble lion and the Tasmanian hedgehog. Mortal enemies in the wild.
Arklon and Dar fight while arguing about their dad or some nonsense.
For the father of death opens his arms and beckons for you.
Dar falls in the pit, but Arklon can't help himself and goes to gloat. He just grabs his arm and pulls him to his death. I don't think Arklon fully grasps the situation here.
The world is mine!
The police show up at the zoo and eventually disable the detonator. Dar returns to his home dimension, but he leaves Kodo and Podo with Jackie. Dar finds some desert wanderers back home worshipping Jackie's car, which is an excuse to give us a rock and roll song to play over the closing credits.
Rock and roll.
Dar runs off into the distance, and I just love this shot. Dar is clearly just running in place, and the camera's framing kind of makes it work, until Rue runs up behind him and then just stops, giving the whole effect away. And that's basically Beastmaster 2 in a nutshell. It kind of works if you look at it with a squinted eye and from a distance, but upon any actual inspection, the whole thing just falls apart. I love the original film, which was a fairly decent fantasy movie with a neat animal control hook. The sequel takes that and just sort of dumps it all. I get that the whole Portal of Time thing is a great excuse to lower the budget by cutting the need for medieval weaponry or costuming, but it's such a weird departure, it kind of killed any momentum this series had going for it immediately. Wings Hauser is a treat as Arklon, chewing scenery to every turn, but Carrie Wurr is rather annoying as none of her comedy relief holds up and her character feels like a dated cartoon of the 90s. That being said, while the original film is worth watching for its fantasy merits alone, for its off-the-wall plot and its don't-give-a-damn attitude, I have to give Beastmaster 2 through the Portal of Time my Badurday rating of Watch with Friends. That's going to do it for us here once again, but you know the drill. Give it a like if you enjoyed your trip through the Portal of Time, leave a comment down below if you'd like to recommend something for a review, and be sure to subscribe for more.
Yes, sir! Red alert! Right. I know what a red alert is.